Hey there, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And it's Friday, March 7th, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce topic 14-2, which is patterns and equations. We're going to be starting this topic next week. I've already put on 14-1 onto my YouTube channel, so you should be able to check that and take a look at the introduction, and I'll also be putting on a vocabulary list. But 14-1 was just about multiple step operations. And we've had a lot of practice with those with our daily spiral review last week. And we'll just keep marching along in this topic and now start to talk about patterns and equations. And we know a lot about patterns already, and we've seen a box like this before where we can find the relationship between the number in each of the columns. Now we're going to develop a skill in writing a rule for these, and then from that rule, developing an equation so we can continue to find what these numbers are without just seeing the pattern visually, but now being able to calculate it out all the way through the infinity of possibilities. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how many candles there are in each number of boxes. So here we have candles and here we have boxes, and for purposes of us learning and developing our rules and equations, we're going to call the number of candles C, and we're going to call the number of boxes B. And what we're looking for is how can we describe what's happening in this pattern, not just to say it, but to describe it, to say what's happening. So here we can see that when there are 2 boxes, there are 8 candles. So very simply, it would be easy to say if we were to add a column above the 8 and the 2, it would be 4 and it would be 1. That would give us a very simple 1, 2, 3, 4 listing of how many candles per box. So you can see that C is related to B, but how are they related and how can we describe the rule? So to find the relationship between the numbers in the first column, which is C, and the numbers in the second column, which is B, we need to take a look at how they increase in relationship to each other. So here we can see that for each value in C, it is 4 times as much as what is in B. It's the same here with 12 and 3. It's the same here for 16 and 4. And you may have already identified that pattern. But how can we write that? So writing it out would be that each value for C is 4 times as much as each value in B, right? So, and then we could also write it that each value for B is a 4th as much as, let's see, each value in C. Oh, and maybe I should add a V there. So there, that's how we can write it out. So here, each value for C is 4 times as much as value in B, or we could write each value for B is a 4th as much as each value in C. Now, how do we write that out algebraically? How do we do that? So let's do this first. We've had practice in writing out values when they're written out. We did that in the daily spiral review. So now let's take a look at each value of C. So let's go ahead and write a C is 4 times as much as the value in B. So what could we do? C equals, right, is as much. So C is 4 times as much as B, right? Very good. Now let's try this one. each value for B is, or equal, is a fourth, right? A fourth as much as value C. All right, so now we've written it out algebraically. You see how that works? So we could now figure out, if we don't find the very next set, if we don't find the number of candles for 5 boxes, maybe we wanted to do 35 boxes. We wanted to do 35 boxes. How many candles would we be able to get, right? And what if we wanted to do 121 boxes? We've got a lot of birthday parties coming up and we need 121 boxes. How would we figure out the number of candles for that many boxes? All right, I will leave that with you. Go ahead and figure these two out. This will be a very good warm-up for you for lesson 4-2, as will all be about finding the patterns between numbers, writing out the rule, and then writing an equation for that rule. Message me if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.